Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Susan Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Woodbury, Minnesota in the U.S. Thank you for joining me. I'm looking for myself on my computer. There we go. It's a little crooked. Oh well, whatever. You can see. The important thing is that you can see clearly, right? I am consistently North Star Stamper across the internet, so hopefully you are finding me there. Even my my personal website, northstarstamper.com, and then even contacting me, Susan at northstarstamper.com, is the best way to reach me through an email. So first things first, the new catalog. I'm so excited. Tomorrow, demonstrators, the 24th of March, the demonstrators can pre-order from this catalog and the May online exclusives. There's a suite in the online exclusives called Silly Old Bear. Can you guess what that might be? I am so excited. Hello, Kathy. Thanks for joining. So I'm talking about the catalog, and I have till the end of the month to submit your names and addresses to Stampin' Up! To send you this catalog. And I know 2 of you have moved, and I did not see that you had updated your mailing address. Log on and then click on your hello, your name, and click on addresses to change your address. My newsletter tomorrow will talk about how to opt in so that Stampin' Up! Will send you, I can let Stampin' Up! Send you this. And you do that by going to hello, your name, demonstrator, and then if I am chosen as your demonstrator, and hopefully I am, if you aren't a demonstrator, that you've chosen me, click on demonstrator and then view, and you'll see a toggle switch that you can opt in to receive emails, or you can opt in to being heard from me. So I don't know how to word that. Anyway, I'll watch my customer accounts through the end of the week, and I need to have that submitted by next week, but I'm going to have to do it Monday because Tuesday, Wednesday, I am busy with a funeral. Sadly, while Tony and I were in California so I could attend on stage Stampin' Up's convention, Tony's mother passed away very unexpectedly. She had a heart attack. Actually, I heard she had several heart attacks. So anyway, I shouldn't talk about that too much because I get emotional, of course. So thank you for staying with me. Here, let me show you some cards while I talk a little more. I know I've been a little lacking in some things. I need to get back to my birthday card posts on the 17th and my Faster Frugal Fridays. Those have been lacking, so I'm back on track. Exciting new products, exciting new colors, lots going on. So let's do this one first. This was a prototype of my swap, one of my swaps for on stage. It's a fun fold. This is a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. This is the homemade sweetness, I think it's called. You can see that when I open it, this little piece gets bent. So this was my prototype. So I switched out this that looks like fabric on top, and that was this die. I switched it out to this die, so it was just the checkerboard, like the lid was just checkerboard. So this is very similar to the swap I made for a fun fold swap. This is the products we're using today. It's called Service Essentials. This was the first thing I thought of when I saw this bundle. This was a March Island exclusive, and I think it's going to be great fun for the 4th of July. I love this star. And then these are a set of 3 stars, and I'll show you everything in a minute here. Very fun. And then this is my inspiration for the card we're going to make together today. I thought it was just a fun fold like this, but this is actually a bridge card. Let's see, it opens up like that. Thinking of you brings a smile to my face. Happy birthday from me to you. So that was my inspiration. Okay, we're just going to get started. We're going to move on. All right. Yes. Oh, Filled with Sweetness is the bundle. I think Homemade Sweetness is the suite. Okay. So I was just playing around with, let me show you. Here are the stamps. Very nice. There's that star, and you've seen some of those already. And then the dies. I made my cheat sheet. You can see interesting shapes. that do cut out a lot of things here. I like this shield and the, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, these fit nicely in there. I did have this one. Just playing around to see how things fit, and 2 of them will fit. You can see that my Night of Navy ink pad got between the lines on those little chevrons. So I was playing around, and if I, being a photopolymer stamp, I can ink it up very gently and see that I don't have ink between the lines. So I was able to get a nice clear image. But that kind of leads me to a side note that Stampin' Up! Is going away from foam ink pads. These are all foam. I think every one I have on my table is foam. And I'm wondering if that isn't why. I don't have that much ink on this ink pad, but it... So anyway, so new ink pads, starting with this year's In Colors, are going to be felt again. I think, Kathy, were they felt before or were they linen before? Anyway, so here's a different star. Then you can see there's 2 different sets of stars. This one looks more like a starburst as opposed to a... Oh, I used the starburst on this one. I meant to use this star. Anyway, so very fun. It'll be fun to create something with that. And if I did not take the time to Google and then look at images for this product, I imagine you're going to see a lot of red, white, and blue and those things because the chain, stamp, and die coordinate with the dog tag and those kinds of things. So I imagine it'll be a lot of military, you know, thank you for your service kinds of things. But I love the stamps in here. So proud of you, and you make a difference. Those could be to anybody. To a real hero, obviously our military, our heroes, but other people, our heroes too, as well as welcome home. Could be for anybody, not just a service member, but anybody we'd want to welcome home. So lots of uses for this stamp set is what I'm saying. Let's back up a little bit before we get to that. And I was playing with the Notes of Spring. This is the, sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place today. Deep breath. This is the March product of the month, and I realized March is ending soon. As far as I know, it's still available. I don't know how many copies they have left, but I was just playing around with it today because I was gone for a week. You can see I had a little trouble stamping the deer and the filler. It's not perfect, but I think it'd be good enough. The duck was much easier to do, and then this was basic gray, and then smoky slate stamped, and then stamped. I didn't re-ink it before I stamped this one. I really like this bunny. He's cute. I wasn't sure about this one. Was it supposed to color in the base of that? Same with this little one here. I just used it to color the base of that, but I suppose you could use it in white ink on blue paper for clouds. I don't know. And then this one was kind of interesting too. This blurb right here, I guess they kind of have it going this angle with that. I don't know. I just played around a little. So this was Old Olive. These are Garden Green. And then I just had on my table Darling Duckling. And then I did not re-ink and stamped it there too. So, but this is the March product of the month. Okay. Now, let's get back to our service essentials. So I was playing around the colors and I wanted to see what these 2 looked like stamped. I'm not really sure what the plus is. Anybody know how that would relate? Unless that looks like a red cross kind of cross to me. But I was just playing with In Colors, and these are the retiring In Colors. Let me grab those real quick, because words aren't coming to me quite yet. Hi, Mom and Dad. Thanks for joining. Kathy says, I know we had linen. This is back to the ink pads switching from foam to felt. I know we had linen. I don't remember if we had felt. Oh, okay. I don't know, but they are switching away from the foam. They've had issues with the re-inkers or the ink interacting with the foam. So we're hoping that we'll have better luck. So these are, oh, sorry, that one's dirty. Well, these are the retiring In Colors: Petunia Pop, Shy Shamrock, Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, and Summer Splash. So those are the colors I pulled out to play with this set. So I was just playing around with the cross or the plus, I don't know, and just did a pattern. I think I actually stamped it this way. and I stamped, and then I just made sure I ink color, cleaned my stamp very thoroughly before I moved on to my next color. So that was kind of fun. We're going to use this on that card, on this card in a bit. We're going to cut it apart and use it as our layer. So I'm going to put that to the side. Oh, and I already have my layers cut, and I'll share with you the dimensions. So again, just playing around with products. You know, stamping is my favorite thing. I don't know. I just playing around. I like this one. I imagine I'll trim it off and then use it. I could cut it into 3 panels or whatever. So just Night of Navy and Petunia Pop. This was Petunia Pop and Pretty in Pink. And then this one are these two just in a pattern. So I kind of like it this way. It looks like a bar graph, doesn't it? Or a bell curve? I don't know. Hello, Angie. Thanks for joining us today. All right, so I probably need to stamp a little more there. But anyway, just fun to use different colors, and it makes the stamp look very different. These remind me of wings for the Air Force. I don't know, is that right? Any Air Force veterans out there? And then this, I tried to look up military symbols and logos and whatever, and this reminds me of the Army. I don't know why, but anyway. So it'll be very fun to use some of these things for 4th of July this summer as we celebrate 250 years. Okay, let's bring this back. I showed you that. All right, so this was a swap, and the person's name isn't on here. If this was your swap, I apologize. I don't know your name. Let me know it was yours, and I don't even remember where I got it. If it was here in Minnesota, or I don't know. I don't know. So I measured what she did. I assume it was a she. And these were cut at 1 1/4 inches from each edge. So that is what I've done here. I took a basic white 8.5 by 5.5, scored it in the middle, and then I put it in my trimmer and cut 1 1/4 inch from here and 1 1/4 inch from there. So that's going to be the basis for our card. And then I have my layer pieces here. They're 1 1/8 wide by 4 1/8, and that left 2 7/8 for my middle section. So these are going to fit right on here. Kathy said she likes the Night of Navy Petunia Pop. I did too. I was thinking of using black. Oh, I did have one in black. I had another sample. Where did it go? All right, let's finish this one first, and then I'll bring that last one back. So those will fit there with 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And the last piece, we're going to cut this to be 1 inch, so 4 inches wide, which is what this was. This was going to be a layer, and I've decided to chop it up. So it's 4 inches, and I'm going to cut 1 inch, and then 2 3/4, and then 1 inch, and I'll probably have a little bit left, and that's going to be the layers for this. So let's make sure it's 4 inches, and it is 4 inches. So I'm going to cut. See, I kind of like the Petunia Pop, so we're going to do 1 inch. Let's see how it fits. I think it should be just about right. Ta-da! And what did I say? 2 3/4. Let's see, make sure that's 1/8 of an inch less than this. Yes. 2 3/4. Oh, I like the Petunia Pop's going to be on all 3 panels. And then another 1 inch. So there I was just working on creating my own pattern paper. And then I'm just left with peach pie. I don't know if that's... we'll see. We'll see what we do with that. Now on this one, she added a layer on the inside. But because I'm already using a white base, I didn't think I needed a layer on the inside, which is kind of why I chose it. Had I done a different color, I would put a layer on the inside. All right, let's do this. So while I'm gluing this all down, I had 2 of these that I ordered in, let me clean this up a bit. In January, I ordered 2 more of these Tombow glues. So my Tombow glues, because I store it this way, kind of get messy. So I'm going to see if I can't clean this up a bit. It's not cleaning, but anyway, it's almost gone. Okay, so I ordered 2 of these in January, and it was very cold here in January, and they froze. So I wasn't sure what Stampin' Up! Would do, because it really wasn't their fault that I ordered in January, and I think they came UPS. Either way, they froze on a truck somewhere between Utah and Minnesota, and they were not usable. So I contacted Stampin' Up! And they gladly sent me 2 replacements. I was very happy for that. I just wanted to let them know. And I told them next year I will stock up in the fall before it gets cold, so I won't have that issue next year. And that's my public service announcement. Don't order glue during the winter. It will freeze, or it could freeze if you live in the upper Midwest. I'm going to move that so I don't get adhesive all over it. Look at that nice narrow border. I could have punched from there, couldn't I? I probably should have. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, okay. I had to think about what I'm doing. A little bit of glue. Oh, sorry if I was out of camera. All right. I will miss these colors, especially Petunia Pop. I think that it was fun having Pretty and Pink again. So I'm not going to do... Oh, I already adhered that. Oh, I did that one? No, I didn't. I'll make sure I get the edges. We'll look at that card, my sample card here in a minute. She did some really interesting things that I liked. So I'm looking to even my borders. And with the liquid glue, I do have a few seconds to move it around. Make sure I put this on the right way. All right. So people, whoever the recipient, can see that this continues. And then instead of a spanner card, I am actually going to adhere these down. So I'm just putting glue on this 1 1/4 inch flap and adhering it down, making sure it's lined up just right. There we go. Adhere this one down. Let's make sure that's lined up. There we go. And it was lifting. Oh, I think I got it. I hadn't burnished it. Okay. I meant to punch using this punch, and I forget the name of it. I'm sorry. I will punch out of Petunia Pop, and you see I keep my scraps. Let's see if I have a scrap big enough. I don't think I do. What's that? There it is. I do have a scrap. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness. Ah, deep breath, deep breath. Just a scrap. And we're going to bring out Notes of Spring, especially for you. I thought that's a nice sentiment. And then I can stamp on the inside of this card when I'm ready to mail it. Look at this little sentiment. And can you guess what I'm going to use for this? I do have a new die that sentiment would fit on. I can't remember which bundle it's in. But these are scraps from trimming down layers. Let's do that one. And if I make a mistake, that's okay. We will do it in Petunia Pop. Especially for you. I get a few chances here because I have scraps. Actually, that's not bad. That is good enough. So I thought it was really fun to use some different colors with this stamp set. Like I said, everything else you see is probably going to be red, white, and blue, which was my first thought too. So just basic shapes. We'll look at the dies again in a minute. So I like to get these two edges the same. I line up the end here in my track, and then I notice where the word is. It's just beyond this. So I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to put my word just beyond this, and my two edges should be pretty close, my two sides. I know it's eyeballing it, and for you quilters out there, I completely understand. Now that you may not be happy with that, you might have to measure it and trim it. Now that I've been doing quilt cards, I completely understand. All right, so I thought this would be kind of fun to go off the side, and when they open it, it'll be like that. So let's make sure not to put adhesive here, so I'm going to put my finger here. And we'll put it there. And we'll open it and make sure I did that properly. Okay, no adhesive coming through. And then this one will pop up on mini dimensionals. Okay, while I'm finishing this, I went through and compared old prices to new prices. You may have seen in my newsletter that we are increasing some of our prices. Most of them were 50 cents to $1.50 increase, so not a lot. But the one that was a lot, envelopes. Our envelopes are going up $4. I was shocked. They are going to be 37.5 cents a piece. So where are my envelopes? I had in it. Let me dig a little more. I do love our envelopes. They're very smooth, very crisp white. But that's a lot. That's a lot. You add on the stamp of the cost of a stamp. It's getting expensive to mail things. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. Where did the cross? Would you call that a cross or a plus? I don't know. I did put it away. So I do have some staining going on here. Not a lot. We're going to do a little stamping. And then we'll stamp some of these on here. Go off the edge. And then we'll make sure this is clean. I like to stamp on something to make sure I got... Whoa. Let's try again. There we go. That's clean. Let's just use one other color. Maybe try Shamrock. Sorry for the reach. I should have thought of this when I stamped my layer, but I didn't. Hello, Sarah Robinson. I didn't see you there. Sarah's my niece. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate that. You know, just for kicks, let's put one on the inside. Let's do green right there. And let's do one back here where I will sign it, especially for you. All right. Kathy says these colors are so cheerful. I guess I needed a cheerful. Maybe that's why I thought of it. No, I didn't think of it. I thought of retiring products that are still available. So that's what this is. And you know what? I'm going to stamp on the inside because I know who this is going to. And when you receive it, you'll know it was for you. But I'm not going to say who it was. In a couple weeks, you can ask who it was and I'll tell you. All right. I don't have a small block. We'll have to use the edge of a big block. And we'll use Petunia Pop again. Put this here. So proud of you. Yeah, a little crooked. That's okay. It's a handmade card after all, right? They don't expect perfection. And once I write in it, you won't notice. So there's my card. Using Service Essentials for not a service card. I like it. I thought it was very pretty. I think I will post these measurements. They were pretty quick and easy. And they were nice measurements. I didn't have a lot of waste and scraps, so that was good. So you saw these. The one you didn't see was this one. So I had the same color palette, except I excluded Summer Splash and Shy Shamrock. So that's Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, and Pretty in Pink. And I thought the Pretty in Pink was a good one for the heart. Let's leave this here so you can see. What was I going to say? But they were kind of hidden. And so I used my black pen. I think that's for scrapbooking. And just went around my hearts. I didn't have a very steady hand. But I like the look of that. There is a die that will cut out that heart. But then there's a smaller heart. Oh, you know what? Here come all the ideas. I think I will die cut this small heart in Petunia Pop. This little one will fit in the middle of those nicely. Just to add something more to it. I thought that would be kind of neat. You know what? We'll go ahead and put this card together. So I have a layer of black. And I was thinking Night of Navy like I did on that other card. But I didn't have a Night of Navy pen. So I used my the black one instead. Well, let's just do this. I have a Petunia Pop Z-fold ready card base ready to go. So my Petunia Pop there is 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4 from either side. That doesn't look quite right. And 2 1/8 from one edge. This side looks bigger than that side. I will fold it in a minute and we'll see if I was off. Okay, this is just a 1/16 of an inch. So it's not my normal. I meant to cut from there too. So this, you should be able to fold in half. Oh no, that's right. It just looked funny. And then that 2 1/8 you fold back for a Z fold. I watched 1 or 2 other demonstrators, and this demonstrator said, a standard fold is just 1 score away from being a fun fold. So in this case, this is 4 1/4, 2 1/8 to make a Z fold. And then we can put this on here, and we'll just go ahead and do it. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. Again, if you want a catalog, let me know. Well, if you've ordered from me, I was going to send you one. If you've ordered in the last 6 months or so, I'm going to do this upside down. Being a lefty, it was easier to do it this way so that you can see. So I'm looking at all the edges to make sure they're pretty uniform. So that punch I used, where did it go? This is narrow enough. I could have punched this out of the black layer from this piece right here underneath. It is narrow enough. Here, I can show you here. You can see it's narrow enough to fit between here and here. So I should have done that, and save some paper and save some. But I don't have other paper to finish this. And like I said, I will probably die cut some Petunia Pop hearts to go in the middle of my hearts. I thought that would be nice. And then this white layer is to go on the inside. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Mom. I'm glad you like the cards. It's just so bright and cheery. I think it needs some gems, don't you? Just some rhinestones would be enough to finish that off. I have some here. I think they're all the next year. Nope. I have some in colors, but it's the wrong ones. I don't want to have to go across the room to get it. Thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. And here are my other cards. All right. Watch my Facebook group. I'll finish that one off and post it there. So, thanks everybody. Have a great week. It's good to be back, to be honest. So, Take care. I do take requests. If there is a technique you want to see, a color combination you want to see, new products you want to see, if I don't have that new product, I will find somebody I can borrow it from. There are a lot of demonstrators in Minnesota. So thank you for joining me. Take care, everybody. Bye.